All right, welcome to Squawking 1200. Today we are going to be in the Carinata 152 version 2 with the NHAhadrian mod, latest update, which includes AviTab support for the iPad. So let's get in. We're going to fire this thing up. It's fully VR supported now. So a little bit in the past, some of the buttons weren't fully clickable, like the yoke is now fully clickable. Got a full GPS suite in here. 530, 430, full autopilot. Give it a little bit of prime. Actually prime something. Turn on my beacon light. Get my key. There we go. And fires right up. Throw on some alternator, throw on some more lights. Nav and landing light. We are situated at Oceano in California. We're just going to do a little bit of pattern work. So about 200. Don't need XPad right now. I'll put him in the back. One other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to try World Traffic 3. Hang on. Gotta let this thing figure itself out here. Alright, so the other thing I wanted to do was 1511. I'm going to just regenerate the flights, keep this thing inside the aircraft so it doesn't get crazy noisy. I'm going to turn down my my sim volume here. There we go. So it's not to blast my eardrums. Austrian controller, how are you? Doing a little bit of Cessna 152. Got the fully updated NHAhadrian. AviTab now works. Did you? You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. Get the mod, the NHAhadrian mod, and now the iPad that's included with the mod actually works with AviTab. So now we can kind of go through without having to have an extra window. I'm loving the update. I think it's really cool. Now it's fully VR supported too, so which really excites me. Where is the windsock? Going that way, so we're going to go left. Yeah, this mod is really, it's incredible. I gotta figure out how to maybe try to do a repaint myself. Sounds good, flies great. I got real world weather on here, so we got a pretty good wind, it looks like. You know, it's come up a couple places, some of the online stuff about, you know, a lot of comparison right now with this airplane and the Just Flight. And right now, definitely got to give the nod to this thing. Though you know, some of the graphics aren't as 3D. They're certainly not unacceptable. And some of the other benefits of the GPSs really outweigh a lot of the negatives. So I am super excited. One thing I wish that would get fixed would be those ginormous weird trees right there. I'm trying to reach back and find my room fan. Good sound. Wheels are moving. Test the run up here. Gotta basically do a 180. Yeah, this mod is incredible. It'd be nice if he did some of his work for Just Flight. I mean, it throws so many cards on the table of the possibilities. Parking brake on. Mixture. This is a little bit weird. The guy keeps kind of popping in and out. I don't know if I have to change my weight and balance to not show a guy in the cockpit. Grab the key. Little drop. Little drop. Nice. Alright, let's see. What's the frequency? 122.7. Good, I feel comfortable. Everything looks good. Gauges are good. Plenty of fuel. And let's see. We're going to be on runway 29. Looks like 29 is left traffic. Doesn't specify, so we'll go left traffic. Got the top down too with the Aerobat mod here. Alright, crank this thing up. Oceano, November 212 Bravo, departing runway 29, Oceano. And rotate. Oh, it just lifts off so nicely. Yeah, I agree with that. I think with these, you know, with the GPS and all the, you know, the iPad and kind of the fully modern electronic flight kit, I think it's going to give Just Flight a run for its money. And I think Just Flight is, someone said that they were going to be working on, you know, a little bit more balance in their flight model, fixing some of the stall characteristics. Yeah, so I think this is definitely hands down um, is the 152 to have right now. That being said, I think Just Flight has plenty of opportunity to really fix some of their issues, because if I'm not a real world pilot, so the Just Flight flies fine for me. So it's really hard for me to judge full realism. But this one with the full autopilot, the two different GPSs, some of the other configurations that some of the other liveries have, kind of neat. It's got the pens and stuff up top, and a bunch of neat stuff. So I just wanted to kind of give this aircraft a little bit of a workout today. Yeah, no, if I hear totally what you're saying. If NHAhadrian worked for Just Flight and did these improvements to their aircraft, that thing would, hands down, graphically and flight model wise, would just be off the charts fun. Oh, carburetor ice. I'm in the middle of California. Better turn on the carb heat. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, when somebody lays the groundwork, that's always the toughest job. And then you look at, is it VR Sim Labs? And how he's really tweaking the VR profiles in the configuration files. These guys need to be on some of these teams, make the aircraft as good as possible. Like, this is breathing so much life into an X-Plane 10 aircraft. I think for $24.99, you hit it on sale. No, I think any any of the aircraft vendors need to have these guys on their team. The one I was talking about was I think it's Sim VR Labs. Where'd my airport go? Oh, right in front of me. He does clickable mods and improvements for a whole bunch. I'll see if I can find the link. It might be VR Sim. No, I think it's Sim VR Labs. And he only does aircraft that he owns, so he doesn't even own that many aircraft. Low pass here. Yeah, Karen. Yeah, but what they did with the I'm not that hopeful, because I rebought the Cessna 208, and I'm gonna say not that great of an improvement for X-Plane 11. Still not a lot of clickable regions. Some of the dials act really funky. Even Airfoil Labs, their 172 I love, um, but the GPS, the right hand knob, this one here, doesn't like to rotate. It doesn't highlight green on my screen. And so that, to me, is that one's super disappointing, that they've done so much with that aircraft, and it's still not right, even with version 1.5. I think the guy's name that's doing the mods, his name is like Joe Keepfer, Keipher. I think he's on some of the VR forums. This is just beautiful because with the throttle control, you can really feel, pitch for power. Yeah, I saw that about the AviTab. That's super exciting. That's one less thing I'm gonna have to open up in VR. It's one visual resource that's gonna be taken away from the CPU. So yeah, super exciting news. Yeah, I think that crossed my news feed earlier today. Um, yeah, so I was like super pumped about that. The community I think makes, the minds are just amazing. I don't know if you saw the guy that made a control knob for his GPS. I think it's a USB control knob. You plug it in, and you can operate it with your hand, and it's just the control knob. Yeah, no, definitely. The manufacturers definitely listen to the end users. We probably have more weight than developers, which is pretty fun. Anytime the end users get involved in requesting stuff, I find almost across the board, in any discipline, they're more willing to listen. Yep, open source stuff is sometimes really good. Right, perfect 65 knots there. It's kind of floating down really nice. Oh, there's some World Traffic 3 being generated on the runway, it looks like. Probably kind of cutting that corner a little too sharp. Too early. Second notch of flaps. So Austin controller, do you control on VATSIM? That's one of those. That's one of my next steps. I'll fly a little bit online, but not too much. Still trying to get over that initial microphone, airspace. Look at this. We got a whole train of Cessnas here. I think my biggest thing is really the developing the ear for the readbacks. You know, knowing, you know, learning a little bit of shorthand.
The camera's like slightly off.
Oh, you can move my camera then.
That didn't help.
What's that?
That didn't help.
Yeah, this one especially. The one, you know, like the Just Flight, only having the one comm radio, not having the flip. You know, even on a simple Delta airport, having that, you know, just being able to flip from, you know, ground to tower is a nice thing rather than having to dial it in each time. Yeah, but in VR, it's hard to write stuff down. So that's kind of the other, like a little bit of my issue. So I think I'm gonna would have to do my taxi route and my information in 2D and then transfer you know, my readback into my headset. I know AviTab does have a place where you can kind of scribble. I experimented with it a little bit. That was still pretty tricky to do. My son came in and adjusted the camera for me. He said I was a little bit off. So what kind of a call sign would I have to fly in Austria? Field, road. What kind of call sign would I have to have if I wanted to fly in Austria? You know, like here we have the country code is N, and I know like what is it? Norway's E. Are you guys like E G G G D or whatever? I don't know what the if you guys have your own code. Okay, so OE. Okay, so hey, there's a buddy right there. Look at that. Line up final behind this guy. That's world traffic at its best right here. Is he landing or is he not? Oh, he sees a runway incursion. He's taking back off. Oh, that's funny about that Oscar Echo DVD. Second notch of flaps. Still a little bit high here. There we go. A little bounce. That's a pretty big bounce. Flaps up. Alright. just head north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's disconcerting as all get out. I'm not sure how I correct, or if I can even have World Traffic 3 generating aircraft at that airport, because there's no taxiways, if they're just going to populate on the runway like that. Oh, is that guy crashing? Keep an eye on him. I don't know if he knows what he's if he knows what he's doing. But this is Southern California. I was considering. I wanted to fly with real weather, basically, is what I'm saying. And our weather here in the Northeast is horrendous today. So I could probably do, what, Oscar Echo 1-2 Bravo? Or is it just all letters? Only letters, okay. I thought that might be the case. So what, do you have regular control hours? And give me a nice, like a simple, like a D-class airport. Nice. Gotta love that. Yeah, give me a nice. Wow, that's a lot of hours. I have that many in Battlefield 1, and it's taken a couple years. Yeah, give me a nice, easy airport, you know, kind of some, like, Class D, ground and tower. Not too many runways where I don't have to get screwed up with the taxiways. I'll come out, fly out there, you can boss me around. Do you do a live stream when you do your controlling? Okay, I'll have to look that up. Sometimes I watch Marcus from Pilot Edge. He's pretty entertaining. Good and sarcastic. Okay. No, that's good. So you're looking at it as a possible career move? Hey, I don't mind. I can screw up flying in any country. VFR, whatever. Okay, I'll have to study up a little bit. But I'm sure I can screw it up just as well. This is, you know, the more I'm sitting here in the cockpit, the more, subconsciously I haven't looked at my instruments. I noticed I'm like not climbing, descending. I'm looking out the front of the window. It's staying nice and steady, nice and trimmed out. Uh, Really, it's incredible. Not too much pressure in the yoke here. Yeah, just a tiny bit to keep me active and involved. I'm gonna have to do ortho tiles for your for Austria too. I think down in this valley is where New Kiyama is. Part of the Pilot Edge. I think this is their first training run in here. Where's my touch controller? Move nudge. Might be taking the long way. Little juddery right there. Whoa. Big jump. I'm going to set it down at this airport coming up. SMX. So now I'm going to try to do this. Okay. S M X. Didn't do it. Wonder why that's not picking that up. I gotta hit search first. Kilo Sierra Mike X-ray. Well, that's a little bit weird. It's not in a database. How about enter Mike X-ray? Nope. It's not happy. It's not finding it. That might be it right there. Little down trim on the nose. Head into the valley. This is set for 35 miles. Less than 15. Come on. There it is, Santa Maria. Looking for a thermostat in here. I don't really see one. One of the other liveries is all decked out with that stuff. So I can make a right base. Alright, this is going, right, Santa Maria. Hey, Al Smoking Tea, how are you? In the NHAhadrian mod. Understood. More carb heat. Just doing a flight with the Carenata 152 with the latest NHAhadrian mod. So has AviTab is now can be built into the iPad that comes with the NHAhadrian mod. So it's eliminated one window on this side of my screen. It's going to help improve performance, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just flying around Southern California here. Yeah, I've been flying probably for probably an hour. So this is kind of like the end of the leg. But the more I fly this aircraft, the more I like it. The more they mod it. It is now 100% VR compatible. Trims out nice. It has a full avionics suite. So you got the full 530, the 430, and an autopilot. And the good news is, if you haven't seen that, the AviTab is going to be able to be integrated with a lot of any third-party aircraft um, that people want to add it to. Tiny bit high here, a lot bit high. Land a little long. This is a huge runway. It's all right. I gotta say, for redeeming points on the org, this is really so well worth it. And if you can get this thing for less than the $25, if you can get this thing on sale, this is as much fun as you can have in a general aviation aircraft. Oh, set it down nice. So here we are, and welcome to Santa Maria. It's a beautiful 85-degree day out here in California, light winds. Realize you have choices when it comes to flying, and we appreciate you taking the small Cessna 152, though you can't travel with your family or your luggage. We do appreciate the business. That's why we have some of the cheapest prices, some of the longest times in air, some of the most friendly service, no bathrooms. The VR set for an Oculus setup, I believe, is $399. With the caveat is you need a lot of HDMI 3 slots. So you have your keyboard, your mouse. You need 3 USB 3 slots for the headset and an HDMI slot. So usually it plugs right into your graphics card. And so then what I did, I took my monitor that I used to get the stuff set up, and I just used like a DVI connector or something like that into my card. Don't tell Oculus, but the amount of fun that I've had with this VR headset, well worth the original asking price. And Storm Warrior is kind of correct. You do need somewhat of a beefy computer. The bigger the better. Seems like it runs really well on quad cores and the 6 cores. Do a little shutting down here. Let's see, turn that off, mixture out, throttle out, mixture out, brake, key. That's cool, goes right up there on the dashboard. That's super fun. Yeah, so Al, I run a 6700K computer with a 1080 graphics card, and I feel it runs really well, really comfortably. A friend of mine runs it with a 6700 non-K and a 1060, and his runs really well too. It's the 6 gig 1060 card. So I definitely think you need like 6 gigs of RAM to make it run worthwhile, to make it worth your time and effort. So it looks like I'm going to research Austrian controller, pop into Austria. Gonna have to download some more scenery, learn a little bit about some European VFR flights, and Austrian controller can boss me around up in the skies. So cool. This is the checked off the Aerobat, which puts the cutouts up in the roof. Super cool. Got the reflections in all directions. Let's see, that's about all I have time for today. Today is what, Monday? Hopefully might have some time tomorrow afternoon. Try to answer any VR questions that you have. You can send Twitch whispers, that's fine. That kind of stuff. Also, the VR Aviators Facebook group is really active, and they can answer a lot of questions too. Bam Charles runs it. He's been streaming in VR really since day one, so he's kind of one of, I would consider him the de facto player one in flight simulation in VR. All right, get this thing off. Oof. All right, let's see. Find my page. Awesome. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody that took the time out of their day to pop into the channel. It's always appreciated. Trying to find my chat. There it is. And yeah, so thanks again for everybody that took the time out of their day. I know you guys got choices when it comes to watching aviation channels, and I appreciate you watching mine. You guys take care, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.